Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crazy Bees. My name is Debbie if you're new, and thank you for joining us. Today we are on a field trip and I'm so excited. It is prickly pear season. They start ripening up August, September. Some of them are riper than others. So I wanted to bring you over to a prickly pear plant. And this one kind of tells the story of what's ready and what's not. So I'm going to have Candace come in closer. And as you can see, it's a kind of a treacherous area to be dealing with. But like right here are the pears, or they also call them tunas. This one is not ripe at all. Now this one here is mainly ripe, but it still has the green on it. And you can see how you have to be really careful picking these things. I actually have some tongs I'll be using, but these are leather gloves, so the prickles won't come through it. Here is one that is obviously overripe, and the animals have gotten to it. Like right back here is a perfect one. What you do is you take it and you twist it off. And here's our first prickly pear. We've got a 5-gallon bucket. We've got a couple actually. The goal today is to get enough to where we can juice, and then I want to do something special at home once we get enough. But there's a whole process that we have to go through in order to even be able to juice these things, because we have to remove all of these spines off of them before we can even do anything with them. So first we're going to pick them, then we're going to take them home, then I'll show you how we're going to remove these spines. So let's see how many we can come up with.
Look at that beautiful color.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, you guys. This woman is cray-cray. We are giving stickers in our feet and our hands. They're falling from the sky at this point. She's back to the original bush. Oh, there she is. She wants us to fill 3 5-gallon buckets. Woman's crazy. Okay, I don't know how close in this is. Mom's right here. On to the next destination.
Okay. Lesson learned, even with gloves on, you don't want to just do it with gloves. You want to use tongs. I've got little hairs all over in my fingers already. Gonna have fun.
I was right. Look at these juicy, look at that juicy red. Beautiful.
Okay, we are over in, I consider it North Scottsdale, but it's Phoenix, by a client's home, and the park is just loaded. Candace is like, Mom, we need to go over there. So we stopped what we were doing and we came over here, and let me show you just one of these. Look at that beauty. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep picking these. Now, the best way to pick these is, let's see if I can find one that's close that Candace can zoom in on. You see this one, Candace?
Yep.
So you grab a hold of it with your tongs and you just twist, and then it'll come right off the pad. You can even cook these pads. You would take them and you'd want to get the smaller ones, the babies, because the bigger pads are more woody, and they just don't taste as good from what I've heard. I haven't ventured into that one yet. So we're going to keep picking these and see how many we can get for our buckets. All right, everybody, we are done. This is treacherous. We've got 2 and a half 5-gallon buckets filled with the prickly pears. Now we have to drive back across town about an hour and a half and get started on the next part of this process and cool off a little bit. It is getting warm out here. We'll see you in a minute. All right, everybody, we are home. It's a couple hours later. We ate lunch and got the kitchen cleaned up a little bit, and now I got to get back to my project here. So I'm starting to get my work surface area ready. I'm going to use our flatbed here, wagon, and I'm going to line it with some Reynolds wrap, because if I were to do this next step without that, I could get rust on it, I could get paint on them, a lot of things could transfer to them, but I want a large surface area. So I'm just going to line this with Reynolds wrap. I guess it's not going to matter what side. I've got it on underneath the shade cloth, but that's not going to matter. Hopefully I'll have another project I can use this aluminum foil on. Okay, now we're going to dump these pears onto there, a few of them at a time. Oh, look at all that. Yeah. Oh boy. Alright, so our next step is getting all the hairs off of all of these, if you want to call them prickly pears or tunas, and we're going to be doing that with some propane. So we're going to get this turned on, and we're just going to burn off all this hair. I'm going to get this side done, and then once we get this side done, I'll turn them all and we'll do the next side. Still at it. prickly pear pods here. We got these all done. We got all the hairs off of all of them. Now I'm going to have to take them in and I'm going to have to wash them all and get them all cleaned up. I am impressed. This little can, there's still propane in here, and it did 2.5 5-gallon buckets. So I think our biggest pear was, I got these all done and I'm still nervous to touch them. I think this was our biggest one. That's a good sized pear. I think this was our smallest one. And this was our most unique. Isn't that neat? It looks like a heart. So, we're going to get all these in the house. We're going to get them washed up. And then we will show you what we're going to do with our final product. And just a quick update. We are in the beginning of August. And we are still dealing with the bees. Tom told me a little while ago that we are now at a record of how many days it has been over 115 degrees in Phoenix. So here is the pots where they're still going crazy on the pots. They're still all up in there. They don't go so much near the bird bath because the ceramic is hot. So they're not going to that as much. And I think that may be why they are more in the chicken run, because that area is shaded and a bit cooler. And I'm going to stand back here and I'll just zoom in. So crazy. And it is 6 o'clock in the evening right now. Okay, we are now in the kitchen. I've got all of my prickly pears in the sink. It is almost to the top. We have a lot of prickly pears. That was a lot to burn the spines off of. That took a while. It took about 2.5 hours to get that done. So here's my first batch. We're going to, I haven't even started yet. We're going to put it through this juicer and see how it goes. I do have it in the finest screen. Thank you. The words just don't come to me sometimes. Okay, so I have it on the finest screen, and we're going to see how much juice comes out of these. I always like turning it on and letting it get going for a few seconds before I actually start doing anything. Well, let's see what happens here. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that juice. Oh my goodness. Once we get a couple done here, I want to show you the pulp and show you just how many seeds are in these things. Now, if you just wanted to eat a prickly pear, you could. Let me show you how you can do that real quick. It's quite simple. If you were out in the desert and you needed something to eat, you could definitely just have your knife with you and you just cut down that spine. Or I mean, you cut down the flesh. First you would scrape off all of those spines. And you want to be careful too, because this stuff does stain. But you open it up and there's your flesh inside. And the only thing you need to do is just bite into it. But I can tell you right now, look at that. Seeds. So many, many, many seeds. But good flavor. Some people had said that it was tart. I'm not getting tart. They may have gotten some pears that weren't fully ripe, but there's a lot of seeds. My goodness. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but look at all of those, all that dark is just all seed. So that's why I decided to juice, because of the seeds. So we're going to keep going with this juicing and see how many cups this ends up giving us. Okay, we are all done with the juicing. To show you just how much came out from the pulp and the seeds. There's just so many seeds. There's this one. This one here is full, and then another one right here. That's all going to go into the compost. Is a lot of juice. I've decided right now what I'm going to do is freeze it in freezer bags, and then when I have a full weekend off, I will probably turn it into a syrup and I will can it. But for tonight, I don't have time to be able to can it, so it's going to go in the freezer, which is not going to hurt it at all to bring it back out, thaw it, and process it later. Okay, but we're going to make some prickly pear lemonade. So in this pitcher, I have 2 cups of hot water. You can see the steam coming out of it. We have 4 cups of sugar, which we are going to add to this hot water to dissolve it. I have all of my pitchers in use right now, so I had to do this in a bowl, so it's taking a little bit more time to get it in there without spilling it everywhere. Now we're going to stir this and get it dissolved. Which should not take very long at all. And then right now here in Arizona, our water is not cold. So I put my water in a pitcher and added ice so that I can get cold water. Because when you turn on your water here, this time of year, it's like bath water. It's not cold. Okay, that is dissolved. So now we are going to add our lemon juice, which is 2.5 cups of fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm hoping that I don't have any seeds in here. Oh, I got a couple, and I caught them before they went in there. Okay, stir that. Now we're going to add 1 cup of our prickly pear juice. So pretty. Still stirring to make sure that that is dissolved. And then we are going to add our cold water, which is 4.5 cups of cold water. Now, I did not grab a glass, so let me get a glass. And we'll put a little bit of ice in it. Okay. Cheers. That is so good. Okay, this is a winner. I will put this on the description box of how exactly to make this. And you guys, it is amazing. Thank you so much for coming along with me today, and we will bring you back again when we decide when we're going to do the canning for the prickly pears. But for now, we are just going to take all these bags of the juice, get them in the freezer, and they'll wait for me. And out here in the garage, we were just getting ready to put these in the freezer, and I forgot to show you guys everything we came up with for the juice. We came up with how many bags?
76 cups.
It totals out to 76 cups of juice. So I think we have a year's worth of prickly pear juice that we can turn into syrup, and we can make margaritas, we can make the lemonade, we can do so many things with the syrup. So we'll have a lot of fun with this and figuring out what to do with it.